Welcome, delivery family. We hope that you had a great day out and about. My name is Kevin, and this is my lovely wife,
Leah.
And today we have a topic that we wanted to discuss with you. Now, Leah and I, we've had places, or not places, but people who, for whatever reason, weren't able to accept their delivery. We've had that happen before, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have.
But new situation for us. I've heard of it, but this is the first time it happened to us. So I'm going to let Leah take it from here and tell the great story of how we lost money today on our delivery and how we could have done something, but we chose not to do it that way. Go ahead.
Right. Okay, so first I have a question for you.
Okay.
How much was the delivery originally when we picked it up and said, yes, we'll do it?
I think that one was probably $20-some total. It was a triple.
Okay. So it ended up at the end of the day being $17. So we had a triple delivery. So we shopped 3 orders, had them with us in our car, delivered the first one. We were going to the second one, but it it was in a gated community. So usual flow of how that works is you go up to the guardhouse, you tell them what address you're there for, what company you're there for, and then they'll either let you through or they say, well, I'm trying to get a hold of, because usually what they do is they either call the customer or the customer has already called them and let them know that it's okay for us to come into their community, or they're calling the customer at that time. So this obviously had not happened beforehand. The customer did not call, but the guard tried to call the customer and they couldn't get a hold of him. I tried to call and text the customer with it going straight to voicemail and no response on the message. So the guard is like, well, can you just pull over here and we'll wait until we hear from them? I'm like, okay, great. So in the past, we've been able to just deliver it to the guardhouse, and then it's not a big deal. I don't remember why we didn't do that this time. Oh, because it had perishable stuff.
Yeah, it had something cold in it.
Yeah, it had something cold in it. So what we did was pulled over and I tried to call the customer again. They again didn't answer, and so I ended up having to call Instacart support. So I talked to Instacart support, and what they tell me is that since we can't get a hold of the customer, we cannot access their home, obviously, because it's behind a gate, and the guard won't let us in. So they said, well, we're gonna have to cancel the order because we can't do anything with this. So there's no further action to be taken in getting it to the customer. So we talked to customer support. They canceled the order, removed it from our batch that we were doing at that time, and then we moved on to our next delivery, which
I want to interrupt here. So everything is not out of the ordinary yet for us, right? We've had this happen before. It doesn't happen a lot. It's pretty rare.
I think I've had 3 times.
And so, but this wasn't surprising this so far in our story, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so normally we would talk to customer service, take the stuff back to the store.
Yep, and that's what Instacart customer service told us, was that we need to take this stuff back to the store.
Right.
And if you have never done that before, Instacart will pay you to take this stuff back to the store, which is what we were expecting and what we were told.
That's what we were told when I specifically talked to customer service. They said you will receive this pay bump for having to return the stuff to the store. So we move on. We do the other order. Later, I tried to get a hold of customer support, and I was only able to chat with them. And they said something about, since the order was not an intended delivery, then we were just to either donate or dispose of the items, and then continue on our merry way. Well, I was like, what? Wait, no. We talked to you guys earlier and said that you guys said that we should return the stuff to the store. And that conversation, unfortunately, it was in the middle of our workday. We were still trying to work. And so it was at a really difficult time to continue that portion of the conversation. So at that point, I kind of cut it off and said, okay, well, we'll kind of deal with this later because we need to work for the rest of our day. So after we were done with the day, we got home, okay, let me give this another try. So again, they would only let me chat with them, which is frustrating for me because I want to be able to talk and explain a situation. But I did the best I could over chat, and they kept telling me again that I should have either disposed of or given away these items, and that we were told the wrong information that morning, and kind of left me in a frustrated spot because I don't like when companies don't follow through on what they had told us earlier in the day.
So 100% of the time before, Instacart is taking care of it. Every time they've taken care of it. And now they have this terminology, and what was the word again they used?
Unattended.
Unattended.
So basically what they're saying is that if you are doing a delivery that is just supposed to be dropped at the customer's door, you're not meeting the customer, you're not getting ID from them, anything like that, which is what this was. It was just drop it off at the door. Anytime it's that, then you are not reimbursed for not being able to deliver it. If you have to meet the customer, if you have to get their verification of ID, anything like that, like for the alcohol ones we've had in the past, then those ones, if you have to return them to the store, then they take care of you on that, but not
So,
the rest.
long story short on this,
it's a convoluted story.
It is going to be in your best interest. Now, you might not have guard gates at the place where you live, but in Florida, every place has a guard gate, it seems like. And this is a rare instance for us. I know the other YouTubers have had this happen to them, but just be on notice for that keyword, unattended. So if you go and try to deliver and you can't do it for whatever reason, you can't get past the guard gate, you can't get a hold of the customer, and they tell you, hey, it's unattended, guess what? You're going to have a decision to make whether you return that stuff to the store, throw it out in the trash, donate it to your pantry.
What would we have done, Kevin?
For me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't just take it. Yeah. It's not like it's a cheeseburger or something from a fast food restaurant where you're just going to throw it away. So we returned it.
We did,
yeah. And
we felt like that was the right thing to do. Whether we had been told whether we had been told to do that or not, that probably would have done.
But ultimately the bummer is this: it cost us at least 45 minutes of work time dealing with this trash, and $10, which is what they told us they were going to pay us initially, we didn't get that either. So I'm telling you, Instacart, we 99.9% of the time we're on Instacart's page. This time we were not on Instacart's page.
And I have, like I said, I feel like even if someone gave the wrong information, if you can go back in the notes in your, I worked in healthcare for a long time. I know systems and I know notes and stuff left for other people. If you have a record of that call from earlier in the day, you see the notes or recording of the conversation that was had earlier in the day, the professional thing is to fulfill what those people said. Even if it's not your policy, even if it goes against what you were told to do, sorry, someone else already said the wrong thing, so you have to kind of go by that. There's not very many instances in life where I feel like you should backtrack on those things that were told.
Yeah, so that particular instance kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not like we're going to abandon Instacart, but
No,
it's still, it costs time and it costs money.
those are the
So,
hard things.
yeah,
When it costs time.
because you can't make those up.
Yeah.
And so we hope that you learned along with us today. It'll probably happen to you if you do enough deliveries. And we hope that you can handle it however you feel is the best way to handle it. But keep in mind that one particular phrase, because multiple people use the unattended
Yeah, they said
phrase.
it's not an attended delivery.
Yes. So if you're in that situation, then you're gonna have to decide what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a big delivery and
I had
you're eating well. I don't know.
Right? And I had at least 2 people from support tell me that you are either to donate or dispose of the items.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would you throw them away?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine just like taking all this stuff and throwing it away. Sorry, just gonna toss it in the trash.
It was $70 worth of groceries, and so for us, the right thing to do was just take it back and give it back to the store.
Yeah.
But that's the moral of our story today. It was an adventure. We learned some stuff, and we're now on the lookout for that phrase. If it ever happens to us again, we'll know exactly what to do.
Yep.
And now you don't have to learn from your mistake. You can learn from our mistake.
Yeah, exactly. That's wisdom in that, is learning from other people's mistakes. So we want to share what we go through, so that if something similar happens to you, you kind of know how to deal with it instead of being completely lost. We'll be completely lost for you, and we'll share it, and then you don't have to be lost.
It doesn't happen much anymore.
No.
We're not rookies, but this was a surprise, so we wanted to share with everybody. But anyway, we hope that you have a great night. And if those of you who are delivering tonight, please be safe. Do something good for somebody, and we'll talk to you next time.